Hi, this is Tony. I'm checking out your photojournalism assignment. And first off, I have you listed down as Thomas Adams, but then I noticed that on this page here it says Wilbur Duncans, and so if you could clear up for me, if this is not like your account, could you get a Gmail account or something, um, so that the names match up, or are you Wilbur Duncans? Just let me know. Anyway, okay, we're taking a look at a dog getting a bath. Okay, so let's as I'm looking through here. Okay, I can see getting down some shampoo. The dog's in the tub, getting the dog wet. I know how tough this can be. And then the dog is actually doing pretty good in the bathtub. And then drying the dog off, and then a nice happy dog. All right, so let's take a look at these things. Okay, so let's take a look. First off, your ISO, that's great. 800, that's a good place to be. Looks like you're using your kit lens, or maybe this is a Coolpix. Okay, so um, it looks like maybe it might be a point and shoot camera then. Okay, definitely you could also check your your white balance, because this is looking just a little excuse me, a little on the yellowish side. So as we're going through here, yeah, the pictures are still looking a little bit on the yellow. So you definitely want to experiment with your white balance so that the pictures don't look quite so yellow. Um, ISO here is also 800, and you can see that at a 25th of a second, that's you're right on the borderline here in terms of the being able to stop action. So if your dog is moving around at all, and it looks like the dog might be moving around a little bit, you get a little bit of a blur. So you definitely want to bump that ISO up to 1600 or maybe 3200, even though it might get a little on the noisy side. It'd be better than to have the blurry pictures. Okay, so now a shot like this is pretty good. And I can tell that there's some water or something coming out. But what you might want to do, in terms of just shooting these things kind of literally, let me go back here. You might want to move your camera and get a shot where maybe you put your camera not in the tub or getting it wet or anything, but over here and shooting it with kind of a wide angle look, so that you see the water pouring down into the tub, maybe in relationship to the dog in the tub. So these are kinds of things where, if you have a little point and shoot camera, you can put that camera in places that, and shoot a few shots just to see what it looks like. You don't necessarily have to get your face behind it, but you could just put it back there and maybe look back in the tub. Just a little something, a little suggestion in terms of being a little bit more creative. The same kind of thing here too. I mean, it's when you're shooting these things and it's kind of linear. Um, it's almost like a recipe. But when you're doing this kind of stuff, if you're telling a story, you usually want it to be a little bit more than just a recipe. So, okay, so like for instance, instead of just having this the shampoo bottle, maybe taking this little shampoo bottle and pouring a little something in your hand or something, and maybe also showing the dog in the background, in terms of the relationship, because I mean it's more like a product shot than it is relating this to the telling of the story of your dog being washed. Okay. All right, so very patient dog, getting some water poured on him. So that's good. But once again, in terms of here you're sort of at eye level looking at the dog. One thing you might want to consider is maybe placing your camera up high and looking down and seeing the whole tub instead of a relatively tight shot. Okay, this is a little bit better, but up high. I mean, you could, you're still at pretty much eye level. You can also get something down here too, where, once again, maybe putting your camera like maybe right here, looking back over at the dog, in relationship to the faucet. Let's going through here, okay, and more of, here you're pouring the soap onto the dog. Here's a shot where maybe you know, if you had that bottle, you know, you could see that it was the shampoo because you can't really tell what this is right here. But if you could see a label of the shampoo pouring onto the dog, that might be a little bit more in relationship. And also seeing the dog's face, just sort of seeing it on the back there and then kind of a hairy lump right there is um, something that, you know, in terms of for visual interest, you could get in a little closer either here where the soap is coming down or back up just so you could see more of the dog's face and maybe the dog's reaction kind of thing here too. And the same kind of thing here too. Really, it's maybe more about the, not so much about the soap, but more about the dog's reaction, you know, because, you know, these kinds of things, when you're telling a story, having either people's reactions or dogs' reactions, you know, often count for a lot more in terms of the story. Now, this is cute. This is very cute. You know, you can see the dog is maybe a little bit like, okay, when's this going to get over with? You know, and then you can see her, you know, washing the dog too, and you know her reaction. So that, you know, here you're seeing something that, you know, has a little bit more in terms of the storytelling aspect of it. Um, Now here is a perfect spot where you know, your ISO is, you could definitely bump this up here and get a little bit faster shutter speed because when it gets a little blurry like this, it's hard to read what's actually happening there. I can see, you know, you're trying to clean out the toenails there. Okay. So same kind of thing here too. This is more of a recipe kind of shot. Can't really see the water coming out of the faucet there very well. But you know, getting down low, getting different angles, you know, those kinds of things. Those are the things you want to think about. Same kind of thing here too. It would be much better if you were going to show the dog's reaction or the woman's reaction, you know, in terms of seeing this pitcher of water being poured on the dog. You know, you could put your camera, you can hold your camera just basically right up again, you know, where you're pointing it back at her or back down at the dog. You can just place your camera right up against the wall and just shoot some test shots just to see what you can get. You know, and you can have them move around. This is the thing where, you know, you are directing the story, so you definitely want to be able to, you know, play a role. Now you've got the towel, but I can't really tell what's going on with the towel here. So you definitely want to put that in relationship. Now this is much better. You know, you can see where the dog is, you know, being comforted by the towel. Maybe a close-up right in here, you know, of the dog's face. You know, those kinds of things really tell the story much better right here. Okay, this is, you know, definitely this is the type of thing, you know, where you can, you know, see, you know, what's going on here, and that's a much better. Oh yeah, there you go. Now you're getting this kind of thing. Yeah, so those shots work out really well, and definitely seeing the dog be a little bit more comforted by you know, being dried off, and then definitely a lot happier. Okay, so these kinds of things, these shots right here with the dog's face, very nice. And then also being dried off, very very nice. You know, a shot like this, and then maybe even a close-up shot where you know, you've got the dryer in a little bit closer. Um, and oh, there you go. That's exactly what I was talking about. You got the dryer in a little bit closer, but it's a little on the blurry side, and you're shooting at a 1/7 of a second here, so you definitely want to bump that ISO up a little higher. And finally, a happy dog. Okay, good. That's a good way to end the story. But you know, definitely get in there, bump that ISO up a little higher, and also see if you can put your camera in different spots to get different perspectives to add a little interest to the story. Okay. As it is, it works out fine for the assignment, and thanks very much.